Maria del Carmen Santiago is wishing you a blessed December.
Burned alive but fought back from the grave, the unbelievable true story of Judy Malinowski that will leave you speechless. Hey everybody, buckle up, because this is one of those stories that hits you right in the gut, a real-life nightmare turned into an incredible fight for justice. We're talking about Judy Malinowski, a young mom from Ohio who went through absolute hell after her ex-boyfriend doused her with gasoline and set her on fire. Doctors said she wouldn't make it, but Judy hung on for almost 2 years, enduring pain most of us can't even imagine, just so she could make sure her attacker paid for what he did. And get this, she ended up testifying at her own murder trial from beyond the grave. Yeah, you heard that right. This woman's strength is on another level. It all went down on August 2, 2015, outside a Speedway gas station in Gahanna, a suburb of Columbus. Judy was 31 at the time, a former homecoming queen who'd already beaten ovarian cancer and kicked a painkiller addiction that started from her treatments. She had 2 little girls, Kaylin and Madison, and was trying to build a better life. She'd been in an on-again, off-again relationship with Michael Slager, a guy who was 40 and had a history of trouble. Things were toxic fights, jealousy, the whole mess. That day, they got into another argument and Slager snapped. He grabbed a can of gasoline, poured it all over her, and lit her up with a lighter. Witnesses saw the flames shoot up, and Judy running around screaming in agony. Slager just stood there watching for a bit before someone put the fire out. She was burned over more than 90% of her body, 3rd and 4th degree burns, the worst kind. Her skin was charred, she lost ears, fingers, hair, everything. Doctors at the burn unit gave her basically 0 chance of surviving. They told her mom, Bonnie Bowes, to prepare for the end, but Judy wasn't done. She coded her heart stopped at least 7 times in those early days, but they brought her back every time. Slager tried to play it off like an accident at first, saying she did it to herself or something ridiculous. He got charged with aggravated arson and some other stuff, pleaded no contest, and ended up with just 11 years. The judge even said she wished she could give more, but that's what the law allowed back then. Judy was furious when she heard she said something like, "I got a life sentence and he didn't." That fired her up even more to stay alive. She spent those 2 years in the hospital going through over 50 surgeries, skin grafts, reconstructions, you name it. The pain was constant, like every nerve ending on fire all the time. Nurses described it as unimaginable. She had to be wrapped in bandages, fed through tubes, couldn't move much. But Judy pushed through. She got clean again, focused on her girls, and worked with prosecutors to build a case. When it became clear she might not make it much longer, they came up with a plan. Record her testimony on video from her hospital bed so it could be used later. To make sure the judge would accept it, Judy weaned herself off heavy pain meds for weeks, reducing them bit by bit, so she was clear-headed enough to be credible. Then, over 3 hours, she told her story straight to the camera. She described exactly what happened, how Slager poured the gas, how she begged him to stop, how he backed away and watched her burn. She called his look pure evil. She talked about the pain shooting through her body, gasoline getting in her throat and burning bad. But she also showed mercy, said she didn't want him to get the death penalty, just life in prison so he could think about what he did every day. Judy passed away on June 27, 2017, from complications of those burns. Her death was ruled a homicide, and charges got upgraded to aggravated murder with death penalty specs. Slager's team fought to keep the video out, but the judge allowed it, making Judy one of the first, if not the first, murder victims in U.S. history to testify at their own trial. In 2018, that video played in court. Jurors saw this frail woman, barely recognizable, raising her deformed hand and staring down the lens, telling the truth. Slager got convicted and sentenced to life without parole, but Judy's impact didn't stop there. Her family, Mom Bonnie, the girls, her siblings pushed for change. They got Judy's law passed in Ohio, adding up to 6 extra years for attackers who use accelerants like gas and leave victims disfigured. It's helped make sentences tougher in those brutal cases. There's even a documentary called The Fire That Took Her that dives deep into it, all interviews with family, prosecutors, nurses. It shows how Judy turned her suffering into something that protects others. What gets me is Judy's sheer willpower. She was a fighter from the start, beat cancer, got sober, raised her daughters through tough times. Even when her body was destroyed, her spirit wasn't. She hung on not just for herself, but for her kids and to make sure no one else got away with something like that lightly. Nurses and docs called her a miracle. Her mom said she was on autopilot those years, caring for the grandkids while Judy fought. Domestic violence like this is sneaky. It builds up, isolates people, makes them doubt themselves. Judy had gotten away from Slager before, but he pulled her back in. Stories like hers remind us how dangerous it can get and why getting out early matters. If you're in something like that, reach out. Hotlines, friends, anyone. At the end of the day, Judy's voice echoed in that courtroom long after she was gone. Slager's locked up for good, thinking about pure evil every day. And her legacy lives on through her girls, her law, and everyone inspired by her courage. It's heartbreaking, but it's also uplifting proof that one person's strength can change things. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.